All right. Good morning, everybody. We have our friend Damo from Mates Construction joining us today. And we wanted to have a chat with Damien regarding Mates and Construction. So Damo is a senior field officer, has worked for them for a few years now. And yeah, so Damo, would you like to introduce yourself and tell us about Mates Construction and what you do?
Cool, too easy. Thank you, Louise. Hi, Andy. Thanks for having me in. Mates in Construction, we're a not-for-profit charity that was started to reduce the suicide rate within the construction industry. Unfortunately, at the moment, we're losing approximately 190 construction workers a year to suicide. That works out to be suicide every second day within the construction industry. And unfortunately, they're 6 times more likely to die by suicide than a workplace incident, which is pretty scary. So Mates in Construction, they started in Queensland about 13 years ago in 2007. Since the inception in Queensland, they've spread from Queensland to New South Wales, South Australia, Northern Territory, and Western Australia. And about 3-4 months ago, they started in New Zealand as well. We've done a little bit of work over in the UK as well. So we aim to reduce the suicide rate within the industry a few different ways. So we get out onto job sites. So my role is a senior field officer. I've got a small team of 4 field officers. We get out onto construction job sites and letting people know that there is support out there for the industry and their loved ones. We offer a training program, and the first stage of our training program is called the General Awareness Training. That goes for about a 45-minute session or so. And what that does, it upskills the industry. It lets them know that there is a problem within our industry, but it also call to arms as well. It lets them know, it gives them a few basic skills so they can see if a workmate or loved one is struggling and maybe thinking about suicide. And if somebody does pick up that their workmate or loved one is struggling, a lot of the time they don't know what to do next. We actually walk them through that and explain what to do next. At the end of that 45-minute session, you get an option to progress further. You tick a box as a voluntary role, and the next stage is called the connector training. So that's a 4-hour training session, and you get a green sticker in this one, so you're recognizable on the job sites in the company within the organizations. That means you're a go-to person. So if one of those general awareness training persons pick up that their mate is struggling, that they're not going well, they don't know what to do next, they don't have the confidence, they don't have the skills what to do next, they'll actually go and speak to the connector. That connector will go over and have a hard conversation with that person and connect them into help. In that connector training, we actually train the participants how to ask directly about suicide. And that is a research proven training session and is internationally recognized. There's certain ways how you ask about suicide, and we train the group how to do that. And if they ask someone about suicide and they say yes, they're trained to keep that person safe while connecting them into help. And they can also, if the person turns around and says, no, I'm not thinking about suicide, but I'm just going through a bit of a rough patch, that connector can still keep them safe and connect them into help. At the end of that session, you get another option if you want to volunteer into the last stage of our training. The last stage of our training is a 2-day course. It's called an ASSIST course, which stands for Applied Suicide Intervention Skills Training. That is where we give the group the skills to actually intervene in a suicide. They talk to a person and listen to their story, listen to what's going on in their life, and listen to a thing called a keep safe connection. They work with this little glimmer of hope that the person has got and why they're still alive. And then we actually work with the person and train them how to get them into safety and create a safe plan. So it's a 3-stage program. The connector and the assist training is both internationally recognized. You go anywhere in the world and let them know that you've done this training. They will know what you're talking about. It is designed by an organization called Living Works, which is a Canadian-based organization which is up to 40 years of ongoing research. They're international leaders in suicide prevention. So they're the bee's knees in suicide prevention.
Yeah.
We also offer a 24-hour support number and case management service. So if you or your loved ones are struggling, you can pick up the phone and you can ring that 24-hour support number, which is 1300-642-111. And that is manned by a trained counsellor at all times. What they will do, they'll do a quick intake to see how you're travelling, see what's going on in your life. They may ask you about suicide. They will keep you safe, and then they'll send your information across to our case managers here in Perth if you're based in Western Australia. Those case managers will touch base with you the next working day. They'll have a chat with you, how we on with you, see what's going on in your life, and then they will start getting that support. Our case managers know what support is out there within the community. If you're dealing with life issues and you're flat out getting through the day, if you're going to work every single day, you're going home to your family and your friends, it's very hard to go and get that help. That's what our case managers do.
I
They will
suppose
actually
that's
walk with you and take
sorry,
you
go on.
to that help, and will get that support for you. All right.
Yeah.
Our two case managers both have degrees in psychology. One of them has got research published within the universities here in Western Australia to do with fly in, fly out mental health. So yeah, they deal with construction workers and their loved ones day in and day out. That's all they do.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, so we wear a couple of different hats. Creating awareness, providing the training, and also the case management and 24-hour support service.
No, a fantastic organisation, Damo, and I suppose it's so prevalent around this time as well, and especially with the last few months, and people are really doing it tough, and it's great to know that there's a support there, particularly for men in construction, and raising that awareness as well. So Damo, we also wanted to chat to you about we are doing a dry spell, so 100 days off the beer.
100 days, yeah, 100 days, Damo. So myself and Louise took the board, but I want you to tell us more about the dry spell and what's it about and why is people jumping on?
Yep, cool. So the 100-day challenge or 100-day dry spell, it was started last year by a contractor who does a lot of work with us called Melcor. They're based out in Osborne Park. They do a lot of electrical fit outs and plumbing and maintenance, and also contracting as well, civil contracting. So their operations manager, Dylan Ogilvie, has been a massive champion of ours for a long time. He knows that the industry is a predominantly male industry, where the old school attitude of suck it up, get a teaspoon of cement, that type of thing is down. You can't do that. You can't get away with that anymore. You spend more time at work with those around you than you do with your loved ones. And that kind of bloke attitude has to go. So Dylan organised this 100-day challenge. It was a 100-day challenge. You can do 100 days of whatever you want, but it transpired in it was 100 days off the booze. Everybody put their hand up.
Probably one of the harder challenges.
Yeah.
It was one of the difficult ones. I think a few fellas were glad to see the end of the 100 days. But last year there was 15 of them started the challenge, and they raised $15,000 for Mates Construction. We are not for profit, so we rely heavily on donations. And Melcor started last year. They raised 15 grand. Absolutely fantastic.
Excellent.
So this year they're going for the dry spell too.
Yeah.
So this is the second run of a 100-day challenge. This year there's 41 people registered. There's from 11 different construction companies. There's males, there's females. There's actually a person over in the Antarctica doing it as well, Desmond Christie.
Brilliant.
Over in the Antarctica for us, so it's pretty cool. It started last Friday, the 8th of May, and it is now, what date is today? Is the 14th of May, and they've raised just under 8 grand already.
Wow, that's great.
Wow.
So for anybody listening, I'll pop up the link as well, and for anybody that would like to make some donations, but it is running for another 90 days, 80 something days
94
now.
days.
84 days.
94 days.
So last year, Damo raised 15 grand, so 15 people a thousand each. So hopefully we raise over 40 to 50,000.
Is there a target this year, Damo?
That's what we hit low. We said if everybody raised $500 each, there's still 20 something grand. But we hope everybody gets a grand each. There's 41 grand for us. So for Mates in Construction.
For a great organisation.
And that money that is raised through this challenge, I say we rely heavily on donations. That's how we keep going to support the industry. That money doesn't sit in a bank account just collecting interest. That money gets pumped straight back into the industry. It gets us, keeps us boots in the ground, keeps us delivering resources, keeps us out there delivering training, and letting people know that there is help and support out there for them and their loved ones. So this 100-day challenge, it is a challenge, but it's a commitment, and it's the bigger picture. This money will save lives.
Yeah, good work, Damo. Well done to you and to Melcor as well. So, also now, Damo, we know you're a busy man. So, just to finish off our chat today, is there a take-home message that you would like to give to everyone And I will put up
Yep.
details about Mates of Construction for everybody to be able to find out about you guys, or follow the links, and if anybody is doing it tough and needs to have a chat with anybody, that they can get in touch. But what would you like to finally say to everybody then?
Cool. I would say just look out for each other, especially now more than ever. Now is the time to look after your mates and your loved ones. And what we would say, we tell everybody this: trust your gut feelings. If you've got a gut feeling that something isn't right with your workmate or loved one, please use it. We'd rather have a little moment of awkwardness or a lifetime of regret.
Yeah.
So if you do have that little uncertainty, that little doubt in your guts, bail your mate up, bail your loved one up, and ask him how they're travelling. It could save someone's life. And the core of the Mates of Construction program, like our motto is mates helping mates. That's all it is. Just having the courage to bail someone up and ask him how they're going. It takes a lot of courage to ask for help and offer help, but there is support services out there, people out there who really care about you and they want to help you. So all us guys in Mates of Construction, we've all came from the industry and we're all ex-construction workers, so we know how tough it is out there. But we make ourselves vulnerable and letting people know that there's nothing wrong with asking for help, and offering help takes a lot of courage to do so. So don't be afraid to put your hand up and ask for help, and do not be afraid to reach out to your mate and ask him how they're travelling.
Excellent.
That's good, Damo. Fair play to you, man. We love your work. Yeah, I'm glad that obviously we're great friends and stuff. And yeah, man, it's good. It's good what you're doing, and keep it up. And I've no doubt that will save people's lives, hopefully, and that's what it's all about. This is helping people.
Exactly. So thanks very much for your time today, Damo. Really much appreciated.
No problem, guys. Have a good day. Stay safe.
Have a good day. Stay safe. Bye.
See ya.
Bye.